Did you know that Africa is the place where the body of the first man was found? My daddy says that makes it a place where all people originated from. I'm from Africa, you from Africa, you African booty scratcher. I'm always reaching. We make niggas disappear like that triangle out Bermuda. They can't find his body, but they know that I'm the shooter. I say cut my sentence in half, and I'll spread a little rumor. Deal? Well, you can look in Oklahoma if you want to find them sooner.
What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. Back for another classic and another chapter in the book of the Strictly Ghetto Engine. And this one is called A Brief History of Seminole Freedmen, the introduction. And just like I told you yesterday, I did come across a legendary study that been in my fingertips since I was a child. But now I'm to bring it to the light for the folks that's interested within the Black Seminoles. So I'm just going to give you the introduction tonight. And we're going to creep through these pages until we get to the end, the whole outline of Joseph Apollo helping out the Black Seminoles in the 80s and the 90s. And just like I say, I definitely appreciate him coming up with all these studies and doing his due diligence, you know what I'm saying, to have an argument with us, to be able to have an argument for us to where we can go in there with some type of standings. But, we didn't come out victorious. But I think the next time that we go up in there, I think that we will be victorious. We just got to just fill in the holes and the gaps with the information that they probably wasn't privy to, during that time frame. Like how the information is available to us in this information age with the internet, how we can just get to certain links that, the people out here in Oklahoma couldn't get to certain information back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. But now we at this point, and we're going to try to bring as much information to the table to prove that the Black Indians are aborigines of America. They are indigenous of America and was found in America with all the other indigenous people. And we're going to keep shedding that light. And this is, man, just like I said, when I first came into, putting the videos out on YouTube and kind of starting this channel, I was coming from an argumentative type space, real argumentative, real aggressive, type space dealing with this information. And, what I'm saying, I'm fit to start, sending the links out to some of the family members and some of the elders and some of the other people that's interested into the Black Seminole history and just Black history in America, but particularly that Black Seminole history and Blacks being found in America within that Florida area and the Oklahoma area, just anything that has to do with us, putting that information out there. So I do want to make my content more family friendly, more kid friendly. I know all my ex shows was kind of aggressive, a lot of cussing, smoking, drinking, and stuff like that. But I am going to try to switch it up a little bit, just like I said, to be a little bit more kid friendly. And, this information ain't just for the people that I'm debating. You know what I'm saying? Just to share my information, with the groups that with the channels and the panels that I've been hitting up, to try to share my argument. So I make the page to put my information out there. So now I'm just giving the information. I really ain't tripping on arguing with people. I really ain't tripping on none of the negativity or none of the, uh, the strictly ghetto engine shit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, just like I said, I'm trying to be more kid friendly, more family friendly, and be more just about presenting the information. Now, if you have any questions, do you want to, what I'm saying? I didn't say you want to debate me, but if you want to question anything that I'm putting out there, that I'm putting out, what I'm saying, I definitely put the link in at the end of my bills, and you can always shoot questions in the comments and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm open for conversation or debate, um, just to talk. You know what I'm saying? So that we can try to, get to the bottom of blacks in America, black Seminoles, because just like I say, a lot of black Seminoles and a lot of people in my family believe that we do come from slaves, do believe that we do come from Africa. And there's some people in the family that think that black people was already over here in America and we part of that group. So, and I'm part of that group also. So I'm gonna keep on pushing that information. And it's like I say, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or trying to upset any other elders or anybody that disagree. I'm just bringing information, and we can just weigh it up for ourselves. But I'm just bringing information for the people to look at, that I'm coming across on my studies. And hopefully we can agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully we can be on the same page to where I ain't tripping, and to where we can take this argument to Supreme Court or whoever that we need to take the argument to be able to uh, get our reparations or get what's just due. You know what I'm saying? To be able to get some get back on all the wrongdoings that have been going on with my peoples all the way up to this day. And I'm taking it all the way back. I'm taking it all the way back to the 1500s when they first touched North America, and also with just America, because the word Seminole is anonymous with Cimarron, which is anonymous with maroon, which is a term that was created over here in America, just like the term black was created really for the people over here in America. And I want to point that out, that that those are our terminologies, and that goes with the Indian and the Aboriginal also, because these people are found over here within the New World. But let me read this introduction. Just like I said, I'm just going to go piece by piece, chapter by chapter on kind of how this book is kind of, or this study is kind of going. And just present it like that because it's a lot of information. So this is the introduction. It says that the Seminole Freedmen are a group of black Oklahomans with a unique history. As early as the 1770s, their ancestors fled from slavery in Georgia and South Carolina to the Florida wilderness. Now, I don't agree with that sentence. I am going to argue points, throughout my chapters and throughout this channel, going against that point, because I do think that I have evidence to show that we wasn't running away from Georgia during that time frame. So we're gonna continue. There, they joined with the Seminole Indians, who treated them not as slaves but as vassals and allies. Between 1835 and 1842, these two groups, runaway slaves and Seminole Indians, engaged the United States government, in one of the longest wars in its history. This conflict, known as the Second Seminole War, cost the Americans $20 million and the lives of 1,500 soldiers. So it's another thing up in there that I don't agree with. As far as runaway slaves, I think I got a argument to go against that, especially if they saying that they from uh, Georgia and in South Carolina. Now, I may agree with the Florida runaways as far as whenever British came down in there in the 1760s and something like that. But as far as Georgia and Carolinas, I got a lot of pushback for that. So we're gonna go to the next paragraph. At the conclusion of the war, the Seminoles and their black allies were forcibly removed to the Indian Territory in what is now eastern Oklahoma. Although urged by Southern slave owners to return the Seminole blacks to bondage, the American military refused. Army officers, deeply impressed by the fighting power, by the power, by the fighting prowess of the Indian Negro warriors, greatly feared the consequences of returning them to slavery in the southern states. Indeed, at various times in their history, the Seminole blacks defeated forces of the U.S. Army, U.S. Marines, and Texas Rangers. Today, about 800 freedmen live in Seminole County, Oklahoma. Since removal, they have endured violent attempts to re-enslave them. Which, let me stop right there. Which I got arguments towards that to show that these people wasn't enslaved by none of these people that was coming down and claiming them, on how the government opened up a free fall for anybody to come down and hunt black people and to claim black people as slaves, just as because in slavery states, if you was black, then you was just considered a slave, and that's just how it was. Okay, so we go to the next sentence. The destruction of the Civil War. One moment. Okay, the destruction of the Civil War and the bitter injustice of racism and segregation. But the freedmen still maintained a strong sense of group identity, and they still participated keenly in Seminole tribal affairs. Today, freedmen cherish their Indian traditions and their long heritage of resistance to slavery. So we kind of left that. We kind of left practicing those traditions. I think that it had a lot to do with uh, the racism within the nation, within the Seminole Nation. Towards black people, and so at one time we really did move like Indians. We really did lock in and wear the clothes, dress, eat the same thing, and talk the same way until we got backdoored. Which we will be seeing more of this information within this bill, within this book. Let me go to the next paragraph. These few introductory words will no doubt astound many readers. How can such an important story have escaped popular attention? The answer, of course, is that Black history has until very recently been thoroughly neglected in our schools and universities. Those who remember the Seminole Wars from their school days will recall them only as Indian Wars. Generations of American historians have found it convenient to forget that the United States government once fought a major war with escaped Negro slaves. Most Oklahomans and many citizens of Seminole County are unaware that the freedmen even exist. We got the last paragraph right here. A word about the terminology is in order. Before Civil War, American observers usually referred to the freedmen and to the freedmen ancestors as Seminole Negroes or Indian Negroes. And after the war, the term freedmen gained currency. In this brief history, I will adopt the early usages when discussing the antebellum era, and will also employ the term Black Seminoles and Seminole Blacks in accordance with more modern usage. For the post-Civil War period, I will, of course, use the term freedmen. The Muskogee Indians, or Estella, meaning black or Negro, is also used, and readers may be interested to know that the freedmen's ancestors referred to themselves as Estellas or simply as Seminoles. Today, freedmen often use the term native to dis- to distinct to distinguish themselves from the whites and blacks who have came into the Indian Tory at the turn of the century. So that's definitely interesting to hear that the freedmen ancestors referred to themselves as Estellas, which is mean black or Negro, or as a Seminole. So I find that interesting that they not saying anything that has anything to do with Africa. You don't have, you're not seeing anything within the primaries that the black people is saying anything about Africa. You're not going to see anything about Gullah um, during that time frame. So, this is just the introduction, and we're gonna definitely get into more of this outline in this argument. That he did build, to be able to support the Black Seminoles within the argument that we had within the Seminole Nation to be able to get the same benefits. But my argument within the year 2025 and going forward is just not about the benefits. It's about being recognized as indigenous and aboriginal and Indians that's found over here within this land and the terrain of America, like how they found all the other indigenous aboriginal Indians over here. So I'm gonna keep pushing that. Tomorrow I'm gonna bring the next chapter, but I'm gonna go and let this play. I'm gonna show you what I was just reading, so you can go and be able to look at the information also. But yeah, this is definitely something. This is definitely gonna be a nice little series. It's gonna be a long series. A lot of information, just like I say. But this is his outline on his whole research on the Black Seminoles, and we're gonna kind of really dig into his angles and see, kind of his angles and see where he was kind of hidden. And I think that they kind of missed on those angles, which I think that we're gonna try to win on these angles next time. Is that the people really gonna have to show that we were slaves. They're gonna really have to show that we come from Africa. And I'm really gonna be showing how we really got a foot in, how we really really got to fight in this soil over here. You know what I'm saying? On the for real though. Let me play this real quick. I appreciate everybody tapping in. Definitely a good time to pull up and roll up. I'm so glad that you showed up to comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and do it again. Oh, we definitely need the reparations. We definitely need all that. And what's up? None of your business. What is it? Yeah, definitely want all the reparations. Need all that back from what they didn't give us, from what they was getting, from what they was giving everybody else, and they owe us back from basically how they be, what they say when they be going to war, and if they break something, but they gotta pay for it. That's the same thing. You came over here breaking shit, but they ain't paid for nothing like they be paying for everything else. You got big time, got to break us off. But I think they argument was, which I really just ain't digged up in the book too much, but I think they argument was saying that we didn't have any standings, or we didn't really have any fight for the, or that we didn't have any interest in the land in 1823 during that Moultrie Creek Treaty. And I think that's the go-to that the Indians are saying, hold on, y'all can't get the same benefits because y'all not, uh, because y'all didn't have no interest in the land. Y'all really not from here. Y'all really not natives. Which I'm really gonna try to show that, hold on, we are natives. We are from the land. As a matter of fact, we was over here in this land before a majority of y'all even got to this land. So I'm gonna keep pushing that. But I'm gonna, I'm gonna go on and read through this whole book. We're gonna go on and, figure out this whole angle. At the same time, I'm still gonna be putting out other information. But just like I said, I came across this book. I'm gonna go on and throw this up in the game, for the folks, and we're gonna look at it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. Go on and turn up. 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 Turn up. Turn up. Turn up. Turn up. I'm a black Seminole. Boy, I'm a black Seminole. Boy, I'm a black. Boy, I'm a black Seminole. Boy, I'm a black. Boy, I'm a black Seminole. Boy, I'm a black, 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 yo. Boy, I'm a black Seminole. Been picking it up off the semis and they low. Been in Mexico since 1850. Now every day you can get an eighth or up to 5 O's. Yeah, the 6-4 standing 6-4. Test me at the trap making 6 out of 4. None of your business. I see you be playing with them words. Man, keep it lit. Keep it lit. Definitely master them words. Cause they definitely been playing with them words. Like they just like you was pointing out the other day. And they got the double words with the double meanings, fo. Uh, we got some other words too, man, that be meaning the same, man. Live. You know what I'm saying? Live, live. It's a lot of little words, man, within this English, man, that they done definitely got from over here. They done switched it up and keep coming with that game, man, because we master that up, man. I really don't know how they can get around it. I definitely like what you be giving up, though. That's a fact. Keep it lit. None of your business. What is it? definitely gonna pop back in tomorrow. That was just my 30-minute get down for the night for this new little book special. For this little book special right here, you know what I'm saying? That we coming with, that we fit to break down and get y'all this game coming from somebody that done put in some real good research back in the 80s, and we're gonna dissect on what he's seen in the 80s and bring it to light in 2025. Keep it live. Make sure that you stay pulling up and rolling up. I'm so glad that you showed up. The comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend to do it again. One East.